Few characters in cinematic history inspire debate quite like Superman. Since Henry Cavill first donned the cape in Zack Snyder's Man of Steel, 2013, fans have fiercely defended or criticized his portrayal. Hello, viewers. Welcome to Stats In. If you're just joining us, please subscribe and don't forget to turn on notifications bell for more videos. Now, with James Gunn rebooting the DC Universe and casting David Corenswet as the new Superman, the conversation has reignited. The question dominating YouTube discussions and fan forums alike: who did Superman best? Zack Snyder's Cavill or James Gunn's upcoming vision? The Snyder Superman, a dark, modern reimagining. When Snyder introduced Cavill's Superman, it was a bold departure from the bright, hopeful portrayals of Christopher Reeve and Brandon Routh. Snyder's vision leaned into realism and moral ambiguity. His Superman struggled with identity, responsibility, and the weight of godlike power in a cynical world. Cavill's performance matched this tone perfectly. With his imposing physique and piercing gaze, he embodied a Superman who was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. Man of Steel showcased Kal-El's isolation, his difficulty fitting into human society, and the cost of being Earth's protector. Fans of Snyder's version argue this is what made Cavill's Superman so compelling. He wasn't the perfect Boy Scout. He was relatable. He doubted himself, made mistakes, and sometimes scared the very people he wanted to save. For modern audiences accustomed to flawed heroes like Batman or Tony Stark, this resonated deeply. Criticisms of the Snyder approach. But Snyder's Superman also sparked backlash. Critics argued the character was too brooding, too violent, and too detached from the optimism traditionally associated with Superman. The controversial climax of Man of Steel, where Superman kills General Zod, remains one of the most divisive moments in superhero cinema. Some felt Cavill was underserved by scripts that failed to showcase Superman's humanity and hope. Instead of inspiring, he often came across as conflicted or burdened. For these viewers, Snyder's Superman missed the mark. The Gunn Superman, a return to hope. Enter James Gunn, who has promised a radically different take. His upcoming film, Superman: Legacy, aims to restore the character's optimism and lightheartedness. Gunn describes his version as a blend of humanity and idealism, someone who embodies kindness in a world that often undervalues it. Casting David Corenswet, an actor whose boyish charm recalls a young Christopher Reeve, reinforces this vision. Gunn's Superman will reportedly balance heroics with a relatable personal life, emphasizing compassion, humor, and moral clarity. For fans weary of dark, gritty reboots, Gunn's approach is refreshing. It suggests a Superman who inspires rather than intimidates, who smiles as he saves people instead of brooding about the consequences. Cavill versus Corenswet, an unfair comparison? At this stage, some argue it's unfair to compare Cavill to Corenswet. Cavill's Superman had nearly a decade of screen time, while Gunn's version hasn't even hit theaters yet. Still, the comparison is inevitable because the Superman mantle is so iconic. Cavill loyalists insist his departure was a betrayal. They point to his physical embodiment of the role and his personal enthusiasm for the character. Corenswet, on the other hand, faces the daunting challenge of proving himself worthy in a landscape still reeling from Cavill's exit. The broader battle: tone versus faithfulness. Ultimately, the debate comes down to tone. Snyder fans want a Superman who reflects the complexities of our modern world, a god among men struggling with identity. Gunn fans crave a Superman who rekindles the hope and inspiration the character was originally meant to symbolize. Neither vision is inherently wrong. Superman is a malleable character who has evolved with the times. In the 1930s, he was a champion of the oppressed. In the 1970s, he was a bright symbol of optimism. In the 2010s, he became a mirror for humanity's doubts. Gunn's upcoming version will likely reflect today's desire for sincerity and kindness in an age of cynicism. Final thoughts. So, who did Superman best? The answer depends on what you want from the character. If you value realism, complexity, and moral conflict, Snyder and Cavill delivered a Superman for the modern age. If you long for hope, joy, and inspiration, Gunn's Corn Sweat promises a return to classic ideals. Perhaps the real takeaway is that Superman's strength lies in his adaptability. Both versions matter, both resonate with different audiences, and both ensure the last son of Krypton remains relevant for generations to come. For Henry Cavill fans, Snyder's Superman will always be their definitive version. For newcomers, Gunn's brighter, more optimistic Superman may become the hero they fall in love with. In the end, the debate itself proves Superman's enduring power. He will always be more than just a man in a cape.
Cavill was born in Jersey, the largest and southernmost of the Channel Islands, which are dependent territories of the British Crown and are located off the coast of Normandy, France. He is the fourth of 5 sons of Marianne Cavill, née Dalgliesh, a secretary, and Colin Cavill, a stockbroker. The family lived in St. Helier, where Henry Cavill grew up playing computer games with his brothers. At age 13, he left Jersey to attend the Stowe School, a boarding school in Buckinghamshire, England. At Stowe, Cavill developed an interest in acting and participated in school productions, including Grease, A Midsummer Night's Dream, and Tom Stoppard's Dog's Hamlet. At age 16, he and his classmates had the opportunity to be extras in the movie Proof of Life, 2000, starring Russell Crowe. While on set, Cavill introduced himself to the recent Oscar winner, who encouraged him to pursue acting professionally. Cavill soon landed a role in Vendetta, 2001, followed by another in Kevin Reynolds' big-screen adaptation of The Count of Monte Cristo, 2002. For the part of Albert Mandigo, Cavill, who has said that he was teased for being overweight as a kid, was encouraged to lose several pounds. In addition, Cavill had guest roles in a number of British television shows as well as supporting parts in the coming-of-age film I Capture the Castle, 2003, and an adaptation of the Celtic romance Tristan plus Isolde, 2006. During this period, Cavill auditioned for several iconic roles, including Superman and James Bond, which ultimately went to Brandon Routh in Superman Returns and Daniel Craig in Casino Royale, both 2006, respectively. Those setbacks led him to consider following in the footsteps of 2 of his elder brothers and joining the armed forces. In 2007, however, Cavill garnered his first leading role in The Tudors, a cable series following the exploits of Henry VIII, played by Irish actor Jonathan Rhys-Meyers. Cavill portrayed Charles Brandon, a loyal courtier to the king. The series helped make Cavill a familiar face, and during its 4 seasons, 2007 to 10, he also appeared in such films as the adventure